Hello and welcome back to Overthought Gaming. I know it's been a while. Apologize, but time's time and whatever. Anyways, today I am reviewing the latest Forza Horizon, yes, the latest Forza Horizon, for Forza Horizon 6. Wow, brain, I can speak, maybe. Words. Anyways, this came out about a month ago. I'm slow to get a review up just because I work and life. Makes it hard to do the stuff. Do the things, you know. Anyways, let's dive into it. So to start, it's Forza Horizon. It's what I'd hope you'd expect out of a Forza Horizon game. It's about cars, about racing, and about cars and racing. Forza game, woohoo. But I've now put in about 50, 60 hours worth of gameplay, and mostly after work and on the weekends. So, yeah. It feels good to be in another Horizon game. I'm going to be honest, after Horizon 5 Mexico, I was a little disappointed in the series. Speed trap. But Forza Horizon 6 is definitely a nice turnaround. They definitely nailed the vibe for Japan. It's not, trying to mash 4 or 5 different biomes together and calling it, Mexico. The roads are nice. There's a lot of fun stuff. Well, for an example here, we're out here in the country right now. And, there's not a ton of traffic. There's some. Speaking of traffic. Alright. But as we enter the city, it does get to be more. So there's now dynamic traffic and everything, which is good fun. Whether it will actually do it for me is a different story. Seems I am in a little bit of a low pop one for the minute. Or let me try actually getting more city center. But, more cars are showing up as I drive. That's what I'd expect. But let's see if we can get a little more into the city to really show it off. But I mean, I am actively online, so there are people around, and they can goof up traffic. So, but yeah, it says you get deeper into the city, more traffic tends to appear. 9 times out of 10. It's not just a couple cars here and there. Here we go. And there we go. But yeah, you actually get more traffic the deeper into the city you go. So you actually have to dodge stuff driving around, which is nice. Tokyo City itself, love it. Probably the best city I've been in. Lots of great little things. Great little... There's a bunch of race stuff you can do in here. There's all sorts of little... you could send something in here for something. But there's little alleyways and everything you can explore, which make it great. I wish I could find some, but I'm on the wrong side of the city for that. I'm on the wrong side of the road again. But yeah, the city itself is bloody great. Street furniture, still a thing. That's not going to change, or hasn't changed in however long, so. But the street furniture, I do say, seems more like small stuff like that, just nicking it isn't bad. But if you are running through it, there is a better chance you will, really does just slow you down. So, That is a bit annoying, especially if you're doing city racing. The street furniture is really annoying. But that's sort of the worst of my complaints with the street furniture. But I mean, it's, there's little stuff like this, this little tunnel system through parts of the festival. There's little alleyways. Sound design seems pretty solid. But yeah, here's one, the more known alleyways with these little blue dots. But there are little... I've stumbled across some even tighter alleyways just farting around. Just finding places to go. I have found some seriously tight ones, so... Don't want to start that. But, classic Forza stuff is back. We've got drift zones, danger triangles, speed zone, average speed zones, speed traps, drifting, all that stuff's back. There are, unlike the last couple Forzas where there's, usually been like a Horizon zone, like every little section of the map, there's a little Horizon zone you can get in. There's only 2 on this entire map. One up here, which is, the main Horizon Festival site. And then one over here on what's called Legend Island, which is more of Disappointment Island, but I will get to that here in a little bit. It is a bit of a disappointment. But we're going to start with some of the better stuff. Overall, I think they nailed the theme. It feels like Japan. You get up to the north part of the map. As soon as you hit the mountains, you got a bunch of twisty, windy roads. All of that stuff. You have your XP boards. There are no fast travel boards this time. Fast travel is free, finally. You also have some mascot things you can collect, which I'll go into the different badges and wristband things here in a minute as well. But, just going off new stuff. Let's see here. There's still, the big event things to move on, so. But new stuff. There are car meets. You can actually park up and have a car meet. I've gone to each of them. I've parked there for a little bit. I've never had much of it. I think it's more of a thing when you're in a convoy with friends to do that, where you can, all park up and see each other's cars. A new thing, though, is time attacks. So there are 3 time attack courses. The Sony time attack, the Hokubu time attack, and where's the other one? I'm trying to remember what it is. There it is. The Sikabi time attack. This one's dirt. The other 2 are tarmac, and they are just overland events where you can... Just overland rivals where you can just run and do the things. I personally enjoy them because it's fun to test cars on them. Actually, while we're speaking of that, we may as well do it. So... And it also is a good excuse to show some other features here, so... I'm just going to quickly travel over to a spot, which I greatly appreciate is free now. I hated the last couple Forzas where we had to get all the boards and make it as cheap as possible, and yeah. Much better now. Also, that one's on top of a building. Yes, it is. Yeah. Anyways, car-wise, there's an okay selection of cars. I'll go into it a little bit more here in a little bit, but, I have some of my favorites, like... Since Forza Horizon, is it Forza 1? The original Forza Motorsport, I have always loved the 05 Subaru Legacy. I have had one in every game they've allowed it. Just one of my favorite all-around cars I build. And I just like the look of it, so. I mean, you've got a little of everything. Though, this does fall into some fallacies I'll go into here in a little bit. So where is something fun I can drive for that time attack? And, other things are back, Forza Edition vehicles. Stuff that's way too fast. Stuff that's really weird in Forza only. I swear... I have thoughts. Many thoughts. Alright, where is it? Where is the vehicle I want? I want something different. I still am a forever fan of A-class cars, so... trying to find one of my favorites, but, there's a fair selection. This is just stuff I've, for the most part, won. Through races or events or, other things. So... I mean, they do give you cars... Not everything, though. And I have some gripes there. Where is it? I have got so many cars, it's not funny. I guess I could have just done my favorites. Yeah, that would have been easy. Alright. Oh... Actually, that's what I need to favorite. Where was I? No, it's... Oh, I didn't... Whatever. No, it was a Subaru. We're gonna have some fun. I thought I had some different cars. No memento, I am lost in my own garage. It's... I lose cars in here all the time. So... Anyways... Sort A-class. So it's, you have all the classes. Actually, they have updated the classes, so... Since... We're back down to a more simplified list of DC, BA, S1, S2, R, and X. So that's nice. You still have your, different types of cars like modern muscle, unlimited off-road, pickups, and 4x4. That's my street truck. Anyways. Yeah, you'll work. Good old Cobra SVR. Yeah. Time attacks. This also allows me to show you some stuff. Oh, that is one thing. It's, one of the things now is... I think I've got that one already. So one of the big changes now, which I will... Actually, I'll run a couple different cars here. We'll start with this Mustang here. And it's just rain, so... So it's, I know in older Forzas, manual and clutch used to be everything. It's now not quite what it was. On cars without race gearboxes, it is still very much a needed. Very much a needed addition to make stuff work. Or to produce quick lap times. But once you're into a race gearbox, it's basically a sequential, just treat it like a manual with the auto clutch, and that's how it works. Which is really sad, because it's the manual of clutch really did make... It really could make you, faster or slower. So like instance here, this is a scruffy lap mostly because it's wet and I'm asking a Cobra R to put down a bunch of horsepower in the rain. And yeah, I'll do that when it's when I put down a lap time. The little bulletin board comes up. I mean, this is, a fun little thing. I like these little open world time attacks. I actually find them really helpful for tuning cars. because I can, you know, bring them to this stuff and, you know, see what's going to work, which is really nice. So they do seem to have a better tire model than in past Forzas, that getting your tire pressures right and maximizing contact patch do seem to be you know, important things. So that is nice. But they actually did just fix this. You used to be able to cheat a lot of this with drag tires, and then they changed lateral grip with drag tires, so they are not they don't have the lateral grip because people were using them in the classes to down class cars and then just wreck lobbies. So just something I noticed and tried. But overall, tires seem to be good. Seems to, like, you know, sort of the standard, get around that magical number of 32 with any tire. And things are good. Again, you know, some stuff, stunt parties and whatnot are back. So that's normal. So, but overall, this is some of the, you know, a lot of the stuff I like, and overall, a lot of the courses are very enjoyable to do. But, you know, scruffy lap. Yeah, there you go. There, you can see the board, and it'll show that, and, you know, sort of who your, what your top one is. They do that for these, and you have actually open world drag races now, where you can do that too. So it's, say, where's one of them? Yeah, over here. You know, you can do you can line up with a bunch of folks or folks in a convoy and do a live drag race. Very fun. Also, again, great for testing and having fun with. So, let's get down to some of my gripes here. I'm actually going to change cars for this. Just to make a bit of a point. Well, sort of a point. It's much like with the other Horizons. Also, this one. This is what I mean with this one has an 8-speed race gearbox, and yeah, you don't have to use the clutch, which is. Wish I would have known that when I first started the game. It's made my life a lot better since then. But things that I still hate about, you know, most, you know, these newer Forza games is that, you know, this was a front-wheel drive, you know, Toyota sedan. This is now a all-wheel drive Toyota sedan. Its all-wheel drive is still king in the Forza games. It's ever since they allowed you to swap it into whatever vehicle whenever you want, it has made it so driving anything else is basically impossible to be competitive, which is really annoying. Because there's a bunch of, like, really good rear-wheel drive cars that you could run. But since they don't accelerate and just rip off the corners, what's the point of running them? Because it's all-wheel drive. About an all-wheel drive swapped, anything will work better. Which is, you know, a gripe I've had with the last couple mainline Forza games, and even this one. Especially this one, since it forces launch control. Yes, they actually have launch control in the game now, which you can I have it disabled. But you can, it blocks in about, you know, 3,000 RPM. And You know, you hold it, sits there like a two-step, and you can, you know, just hold it with the e-brake and clutch in. Once you're done, let go of both of them, and off you go with launch control. Minimizes, you know, wheels slip and whatnot, but it does it on every race too, which is really annoying. Because some of my cars, I actually need RPM to launch them. This, for example, is one of them. It really likes having RPMs to launch. So, also this is a really good lap, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like a good lap, we'll see. There we go. Yeah, there. I am now actually time attacking, which is sad. So, yeah, no, this is one of the few things I enjoy. Is I enjoy sending friends builds and telling them to go try it here and whatnot. All right, I'm just gonna end that. So that's the good stuff. It's very friendly. I like a lot of the tracks. They put a lot of thought into this. You know, chasing down these little, you know, mascots, I find that a lot more fun than trying to find the fast travel boards. Even, you know, smashing the, you know, free XP boards, that has been improved. I only have a couple that are seriously annoying. Things that have been more of an annoyance to me are houses. I've done 50 hours in the game. I've only unlocked, let's see here, I think it's... yeah, I've only unlocked... I'm missing one house, which is really annoying. So, but it brings me... that's one of the things that annoys me. It's like some of your progress is split up, which is really annoying. So that you have your, you know, Horizon Festival, your typical go run the events, level up, do the things, you know, do so many events, get to the next thing, item. They're using Horizon points or whatever this time to do it, so you don't have to do everything, but you still have to do most of it. And then it's, you know, you get rewards for completing certain things. Like I've gotten all the wristbands now. You know, Horizon Life events, cross country versus, you know, there's all sorts of stuff to do. That you can get stuff. They'll unlock, you know, different things, horns, all sorts of stuff. So you do have to grind for some of the stuff, which is annoying. And now on the flip side, you have sort of the stuff that dictates your barn finds. They also have treasure cars now, which are cars you get as you level up in Japan, sort of like your early rewards for, you know, because it's to help make you think you're getting faster than you are. So you have, you know, like, you know, sort of the same thing, and they give you rewards and whatnot. Like, I've finished car upgrades because I've done everything here. And then you've got, you know, like regional mascots, I'm almost done. Tokyo City Food Delivery, that's one of the little, you know, cultural events you can do. Day trips, drift, collecting cars, doing garage stuff. Yes, like this, she said. I'll get to that in a minute, so. But yeah, there's, you know, magazine stuff and exploring. I just hate that it's split up because it makes grinding the game so much more frustrating. So say you want say you want to, you know, get to one thing. You have to grind for it, which is annoying. And you may not know what it's under. It's like, I'm still looking for the wooloo horn. I don't know what that's under. I'm still trying to figure it out. Or like, you know, the Windows XP startup, shutdown, those type of things. So yeah, it's like treasure cars. I've already found all these, just little pictures to go find this stuff. So, barn finds, again, barn findy things. I'm currently not able to do the last two, which is really annoying. You can drop gifts. Pick a car in this case. Let's see. I know I've got a spare McLaren of some description. I don't want say that. I'll just anyone can get it.
As it's a gift, it's nice to leave a note,
Yeah, shut up. There you go. Have fun.
Now, do you want to be a cryptic mystery gifter, or do you think no? Tell them exactly who left it.
All right.
Okay.
There we go.
That's what it all looks like. You cool with that?
Yep. There we go. This is just sort of me testing it, so whatever. But it's you can. Well, I'll get into my gripes now. It's like car horns. You have your standard ones, but then you can buy a lot of them now. You don't have to wait for wheel spins, but you can tell which ones are locked and whatnot. So that's at least helpful. Anyways, I'm just going to jump to a festival site and we'll get into my gripes with the cars.
Welcome back, Winter.
Not that customization's a huge issue. It's like this. Oh, we'll pick a new car, actually. We'll do an auto show. Oh, yeah, another one of my... While we're on the term of gripes, money. Earning money in this game is a pain in the butt. It is painful, it is slow, and it is utterly annoying. Because it's every time you think you've got something, figured out, you have to buy another car or use another car and upgrade it to meet the specifications. It makes it hard to keep the money. So let's start with, let's find something I will actually enjoy. Actually, filter, I would like it to have a body kit. Just so we can show that off. I'm not going to use an old muscle car because a lot of those have the same stuff. Oh yeah, by cost, it's like when I realize that some of the cars are cheap. I get that. But I don't remember the last time in a Forza game I paid $500,000 for a Honda NSX, especially a 92. I can see, 100 or so, but come on, 500,000, basically 500,000 credits, it's on sale right now. No. It's annoying. It's the car, but yeah, here's a Lexus RCF that's 33 for whatever reason. I get the other one, I get the, Honda. I get that's an epic car because it's rare, but also, why is it so much more than, say, this epic car that I own, which is a Veloster N? It's the pricing makes absolutely no sense. Because it's like, I remember like when the Murcielago used to be like a couple 100,000, like 200,000 credits in old Forzas. And yet, a newer Hurricane that's, got more performance is less. That makes no sense. So, I want something that I can turn into something, okay, decent. Brain. There we go. That Toyota. That'll work. But yeah, it's just... We'll go back into that here in a minute here. I'm going to do the normal blue. So it's like, this is reasonable. But seriously, some of these prices on cars are stupid. But, you know, yes, auto show it, whatever. Don't care. So, so, you know, you can do the usual. There's some upgrade presets that you can do. Like, looks like this is a rally preset, where it just automatically puts it to a rally spec. I will forever do custom upgrade, because I can, but, you know, there's some wide body stuff. And a lot of times the body kits now actually put front arrow on, which is nice. Also, the new rear wing is questionable. I like it on some cars, others I don't. Like this one, I'm not liking it. But, you know, other stuff, it's like this. The fact I can just put the all-wheel drive drivetrain in everything. It's annoying. So it's like anytime I've done online or lobby, everything's all-wheel drive swapped. Motors, I mean, there's a fair selection, but I'm starting to notice which motors tend to be floating around. And some of the standards, like the 6.2 liter LS3 V8. You know, the Turbo Rally, and other such motors, so I don't know. But that's just sort of an example. Abandoned setup. As for cars itself, this is what I hate. There are... How do I put this? There are more, you know, high-end saloons and supercars now than there are, like, little city cars. We're in Japan. You know, the king of little dinky city cars. So say if I filter for... Oh... Eclectic Domestics is, you know, a bunch of the K cars. I would suspect to see a lot more of these. Or... Oh, what's other ones? It's... Filter, reset. I am going to jump to, I know Nissan's got one. I can also jump quickly, but I always mash my finger through. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Nissan Pulsar. Retro Rally. You know, it's like, I was expecting more, you know, like tiny retro rally cars, more... Because like Nissan Pulsar, I had that in the last Forza. And then Mazda had... Where's Mazda? And then Mazda had an equivalent, and it's gone. It's not here now. So it's like, we're losing cars. Especially we're in Japan, it's like we should have a whole bunch of fun little Japanese sports cars. You know, the little quirky ones, the little K cars, the sub... You know, the super small displacement things. But no, we have, you know, basically your standard sort of mess selection of cars. Which is, I hate to say, really annoying. Because it's like, yeah, the Pulsar's fun. But it's like, I was hoping to have a lot of city cars like the Toyota Aygo. You know, some of the old... What's some of the old Fords? I know Toyota Aygo, Ford... You know, old Ford Fiestas? Or Ford Kas? Yeah, Ford KAs. And there's, like, none of that. Because even when we get down to, you know, like, the dregs of D-Class, it's a lot of just, you know, classics for the most part. There's not a lot of small cars. The Honda E's, you know, one of the ones I'd be thinking of. Honda City Turbo, Honda Civic. But, like, there's not a ton of... like old, just sort of late 2000s era fun small cars. It's like, oh, here's a selection of stuff, and here's a bunch of stuff I could care less about. Because there's just not enough, you know, fun small cars to go run around in. Or to build. Because that's the other thing, it's like, okay, Acura, you've got the new Integra, old Integra, or, you know, 2002 Integra, that one. Well, then you also have the NSX you can win. Alfa Romeo. You know, sort of a nice little selection there. But let's get into, you know, Aston Martin, where's like all the fun Austins from the 2000s? The, DB7, the DB9, V12 Vantage. Where's those? Audi, it's so many modern Audis. Where's the other ones? Where's like the first RX-8 and whatnot? I get they have to pare things down, but it's, I've got, I think, let's see, one Audi TT. Okay, yeah, only the one Audi TT. But, here's, just looking here. Here's 3 different levels of R8. And then here, then here's the R8 LMS. It's like, where's the fun small cars? Where's like the Audi A3? Or Audi S1. Okay, that's still there. But it's just sort of like it's lacking in fun cars, because I'd expect a whole bunch of stuff for Japan to be, I suspect a lot of city cars, a lot of the small stuff, not, like your standard selection of, oh, here's what popular cars are we have. That's annoying. Also, it's like, I get the UTVs, but it's like, okay, so we've got the Maverick Can-Am, but where's the Polaris Razor, its counterpart? And here's the, like, Chevy Corvettes. Okay, that's great, we have all, the new C8s, but what about, the, like, the C7, the C6, the Grand Tourings? Where's some of those? And, it's like all of the old muscle cars are still here. It's like, that's great. I mean, they've added time attack stuff, which is definitely a thing in Japan. But it's just, I was hoping for more fun small cars. I was hoping for a lot more of the fun twisty stuff, and yet all I get is like, here's a crap ton of Ferraris that are our, S1 class and above. Like an old Ferrari 430 Scuderia and Forza 3 or 4. This used to be a great A-class car. I now have to downclass it to get it into an A-class. Why? I don't know. I know some of the cars they've made like wheel spin only or, reward cars, which is annoying. So they've got a bunch of like the new stuff that they think people want, but it's like, for us players who have played well, where's the old stuff, the stuff we used to have fun with? It's just annoying. It's like, I don't need a whole section of Formula Drift cars. I could really do without these. It's like, okay, couple GMCs. Gordon, that was a new one to me. The GR GT Pro Gazoo Racing. Why isn't that under Toyota? So, I mean, yeah, it's just cost of cars and the selections a bit disappointing. Because I was really hoping, for it being Japan, we'd have a lot of, small cars. Yeah, I just see, more modern saloons, powerhouses, sports cars. It's sort of boring to drive. I really do enjoy building older stuff. And speed. My cars. Let me get back. It's like, I've always been good up to about S1. But it's like, everything is so quick now. It's like, the jump between A, D to C's, okay. C to B seems okay. B to A seems okay. They get incrementally faster, but all of a sudden, A to S1, it starts to get, okay, S1s are considerably faster. And then all of a sudden, S2s are just blow your mind fast. Not to mention, like, R-class stuff. I can't... It makes it unfun to drive. Or something fun to drive, at least. Yeah, let me pull up my... sure, whatever. There, my downclass Audi. But it's like, also, where's Bugatti? That's been a staple of Forza 2. That's on my gripe. We're a bit of my gripe list right now, which I don't apologize for. This is just stuff that drives me nuts. Yeah, this one's got a slow manual in it. Oh, the neat thing you can do is, now with convertibles, if you stop, you can take the top down or put the top up. That's fun. That was sort of a launch control launch, so. But it's like, I remember when like a Gordo used to be. That was me missing a turn. When a Gordo used to be, you know, a very fun A-class car. And now I have to downclass it to have fun with a Gallardo. So. But let's go to. Well, let's just start. There's. Oh, that's one thing. There, that's a house. Why can't I fast travel? There we go. We'll fast travel to that house. So it's. To mix in some more good. You know, here is. You know, this is an estate you can modify. You can build a track, you can build a wreck-it place. That you can do. I think that's really neat. And to go with that really neat, you know, once we get in, I just want to enter a house. I don't need to see a cutscene every time. Just let me in. I haven't played with this much yet because it costs credits and I don't have a ton of credits. But you can customize your garage. You can literally, you know, customize how your garage looks. Sort of think like any of your MMO housing things. You can, you know, delete and remove stuff. Let's say you want something. You know, there's some platforms, but a lot of the stuff you have to buy. That's annoying. So I have to basically buy everything to decorate my garage, which I am not in the mood for right now. You can display, you know, you can manage your displayed cars. You can, you know, save different garages, the whole 9 yards. Character customizations here. You know, no surprise to half of this. But now we're going to get into some... We're going to get into a couple more of my heavy gripes. I know this is running long, but I ramble, and this is just truly my thoughts on the entire game and some of my frustrations. So it's okay. So I have to run... So for events, okay, I have to run like an unlimited off-road class view. You know, something off-road A-class. Alright. You know, street races, whatever, those are run what you brung. Let's go to, say, Toge. Well, you have to do all the Toge stuff, which is, you know, just 1v1 street race. You're restricted to a class. Okay, not bad, I can work with that. And then once you do it once, you're fine and can do it whatever. But those are facing specific cars, and I do understand why. But other things, it's like, okay, modern rally cars, makes sense. You can do it in any class. You know, B class, any rally car. But what gets me is it's the older Forzas. You used to be able to, you know, just pick a car and run it, and run it, and run it. You built a rally car. You built a car for rally, you could run it. You didn't have to go with, you know, let's see here. A classic rally car. A modern rally car. Something that's a rally monster, or like a retro rally. You didn't have to go with like one of these classes. You could just build a car and run rally. That was nice. Nothing was, you know, seriously classed. And I enjoyed that because it was, you didn't have to worry about what you got. You could literally build anything for rally. If you had the rally suspension, rally tires, and the know-how, you could run a rally car. But now we have to run specific... So many of these events are you have to run a specific class. Unlimited off-road, eclectic domestics. That one I didn't mind because I could do that whatever class I had. Same with Rally Monsters, though. That's like S1 class. And that gets sketchy on dirt. I like A class better. Where's another one? Here's one I haven't done. Rally Monsters again. Modern Rally. Pickups, C-Class pickups and 4x4. Unrestricted. You know, modern supercars, or this is a seasonal event where it's, you know, D-Class, Retro Hot Hatch. Classic rally cars. Okay. Track life cars, so basically track cars in R class. That's so stupid fast. Why would I want to do that? I'll do it to finish the race, but I don't want to play that anymore. And now on to some of my biggest gripes. It's like, you know, Forza has, you know, all their big rally stuff. The big street race, the big... Actually, there's no big street race one. Well, yeah, there is. It's the Colossus. And you have the... So you have the Goliath and the Colossus. Both of these were utterly annoying to me and utterly boring. And, well, one of them was utterly boring. The other one was utterly frustrating. So, to start with, let's do the Colossus. It's just driving on the freeway in a hypercar in S2 class. You drive the main freeway around the entire map for 10 minutes. Your worst turns are here, where you turn to go down into this little industrial site, and back up off here to get back onto the main run, or, you know, loop around. It's utterly boring. You're running a hypercar. I realize it's a fairly, you know, this one makes sense to be hypercars. It's, you know, a lot of high speed, high straights, but they're twitchy and they suck. It sucks because you have to build something that the AI won't cheat against. And yes, that's another thing, the AI cheat. I think that's been blatantly apparent in the last God knows how many Forzas since Forza Motorsport 4, whenever they introduced the Drivatars. The AI cheat. So, because it's, you know, above average, they seem to be fairly good. They don't tend to cheat too much. They don't rubber band too bad. But I'm going to put this in perspective. I don't like driving R-Class cars. They're too fast, too twitchy, and I'm on joystick. I'm on an Xbox and a joystick here. It's not easy to do. I was running this on, you know, I run simulation steering by default. I was doing it on, you know, standard steering. The cars were still twitchy. And I'm running no assist, which I know is part of my own, and I normally run some assist with these. At least in past Forzas when we've had, like, the race, you know, the Le Mans race cars and whatnot. But the Goliath, it's such a fun track. It is utterly let down by the fact you have to run it in a car that's too goddamn fast. And something that's too twitchy. And I even I took one of the cars and retuned it to make it not as twitchy, and it was still a pain in the butt to do. Because it's you accelerate fast, you decel, corner speed, it's like infinite grip, but you cannot comprehend it for the fact you are going at damn near 200 miles an hour all the time in the game. Come up on a corner, you know, I would brake early, AI comes flying past me on Tourist, the lowest level difficulty, and will outturn me. Or will, you know, come panicking. It's like, ugh. Because I know I run on, like, Pro or Expert. That's sort of where my skill set is in the new Forzas. With the Drivatars. I want a challenge, but I'm not out to, you know, drive myself insane. Running the Goliath on Tourist took me 35 minutes. A second attempt took me 25, which was better. But the amount of cheating the game does is so annoying. And why do I have to run this as an R-class race? Why can't I run it as like an A-class or an S? Something a little slower that you can actually enjoy driving around the map on. That is utterly bullshit in my opinion. Okay, yeah, after you beat it, you can go run it as whatever. Why can't I just run it as whatever I want anyways? That's how all the Goliaths have been. It's run it at whatever level you want to. Like, where is it? It's up here. Like Rally Monsters. I'm going to build an A-Class, a specific A-Class rally monster car to run this, so it's not blisteringly stupid fast. Same with, where is the, total buggies and off-road. I'm going to build the slowest one I can, because I hate cross-country. So, that's where I'm at. It's like, the game's got so many positive points, but it's also pushing me away just to try and complete stuff in cars that I'm not comfortable driving. It's like, okay, I've made it to, my completion. I've made it to, I'm a Horizon Legend. I've got the gold wristband. That doesn't mean I can drive a R-class car, even with assists, at a reasonable, sustained rate. And to bring that up to even more, it's like 90% of my time I am sitting here on mainland Japan, running around. Over here, Legend Island. This little spot here. I'm hardly over here. The only thing I'm over here for is... Well, there's actually a 4th time attack, but I don't really count it because it's... You have to unlock Legend Island to get to it. It's the Legend Island time attack, or the Legend Island circuit. That is it. That's like the only good thing I found here. Is that. I have found nothing else good on this island. So you spend, say, 20 to 30 hours trying to unlock this island to come to it once or twice. Because it's, right here, this little T section here, there's a roadblock to stop you from getting to it. And then, right here at this bridge, there's one. So it's, for the most part, Legend Island could have just been omitted. In my opinion. So, that's sort of where I stand on it. It's like, as an overall game that I could, have fun with friends, yeah, I can see it. Was it worth every penny I paid for it to get it early and play it? Yes and no. It's like the initial fun factor was there, but now that, we've gone into stuff, it's getting annoying. And it's, festival playlists are back. So it's, there's this. But it's, I miss the old Forza where there was unicorn cars. Where you had to look, you got them for doing something special in the forum or whatnot. Now it's just do a festival playlist, get a rare car. Or get a car you can't buy. I'm sorry, but no. I want to buy the car, run it, not wait for a festival playlist to come and, just give me the car. So I have to constantly come back week after week to see if I want to play it. Because I don't have a lot of friends that play this game anymore. I've lost track of a lot of folks. I enjoy racing games. I want to sit there and race. I want to have fun. I want to build cars I want to build. I want to have fun building cars. But the fact is, I am hamstrung by money. The fact that, the old Forzas, super wheel spins and wheel spins, especially the Horizons, used to give out super wheel spins and wheel spins like candy. I could go build anything. I haven't gotten that many. I'm just annoyed. So, I don't know. I think if you're after, just sort of a fun game to play, racer to do with friends, it's great. But if you want to, this isn't something I'd put a race series on or anything. Because it's, yeah. I mean, there are, sort of to loop back around to summarize it, there are pluses. It's like, the main city's great. The little industrial area here is great. So's over here. Where else? This little spaceport, that's fun. These little toge, this grand toge and drift road here, that's a hoot. So are most of the mountain roads. There's so much good, but it's just, sort of overshadowed by crap. Being forced to run certain races in certain cars. Locking stuff, instead of making progress linear, with, one progression thing where you get through it. They've split it up into 2. And the fact is, it's... Yeah, okay. So it's like for one of the dirt stuff, it's like, okay, I need a rally monster here, and a few other things. But then it's like an unlimited off-road. It's... Stuff doesn't make sense. Because you tend to just build a car for 1 or 2 events, get a new one, build it, get a new one, and it just wastes your money. So, I don't know. But on that note, what I'm going to do is, poof over to... Oh no. On that note, I am going to call it good, because I have now rambled and ranted about this game for about an hour. Is that a review? I don't know, but it's truly my thoughts on the game. I think, yes, the Playground Games and Microsoft built a amazing playground to go play in. Especially with some unique things, which I know I did not mention up front, which we're coming up to. With, like, being able to buy some pre-modified cars. For these, for sale things. This one's not modified, so... And they built, some spectacular... Some truly spectacular... areas to race through. What's that one? Is that one modified? No. But it's, they built some truly spectacular, they built some truly spectacular map, game, but then they let it down with, sort of the same thing that plagued the Forza Motorsport 8, or the current Forza Motorsport, where you have to run specific car for a set number of classes, and that's it. That just bugs the living daylights out of me. And I don't know. I really think they could have done better if they would not have restricted us to classes for events. Made it like the old Forzas or the old Forza Horizon. I say Forzas as in the Motorsport, and Forza Horizons as in the Horizon games. I think if they would have done that, we could have had a much better game. Because truly the best 2 Horizons I ever played were Forza Horizon 3 Australia and Forza Horizon 4 UK. Best 2 I played, best selection of cars. And the fact is, the fact is they're still reusing models. I actually found they're reusing tire, rim models. If you look at, like, the American Racing 5-spoke rim, the classic 5-spoke everyone puts on a muscle car. That's a reused model from Forza Motorsport 1 or 2. Why have they not updated it? So, I don't know. There's so much good that could have been done with the game. So much more. It's like, there's a Mazda 3. Why can't I buy that Mazda 3? So, I don't know. But with that, I'm going to call it good. Thank you guys for listening to me rant. Hopefully this either makes or breaks your decision. I'm, at this point, probably about done with the game, and I might finish up, exploring the map, and call it good. So, but thank you all for watching. Thank you all for stopping by. And I'll catch you whenever I decide to upload again. But enjoy my thoughts on Forza Motorsport. Anyways, catch you all later. Bye!